Coming to Germany, you must have already discovered that one thing that is very common in Germany is contract signing. And you always see these two words, unterschrift or done. This is always at the end of the contract. So that is where you put your signature and the date of the contract. Now, it might be a gym contract, it might be a phone contract, it might be your electric contract, whatever, or your job contract, whatever the case may be, there's always a place where you sign and then a place where you write the date. And so many people who come to Germany who don't really understand the language are always so quick to go to the signature and put their signature and then the date without reading the clauses of that contract. Thereby, there might be something tying you to that contract without you knowing, and you just sign. And then when something occurs, you're like, when did I sign this contract? I didn't know. But you were supposed to read the contract before you put your signature. Now, in this video, I'm going to be telling you 10 things you should look out for before putting your signature on any contract in Germany. If you're ready, let's delve in. Now, the first thing I'll be talking about is the minimum duration of contracts in Germany. Usually, it's about 12 months or 24 months. So in most cases, maybe your gym contract or your phone contract or your electric contract might give you a contract for 24 months. That's 2 years. Now, it doesn't mean you can't opt out of that contract. The only way you can opt out of that contract is that maybe you change a city. For example, a gym contract, you change a city, and in that city, they are not present in that city. That's the only way you can opt out of that contract. There are always exceptions, not like you are tied to the contract for 2 years or for a year. Or if you are leaving the country, maybe you are leaving in Germany, and yes, that's a valid reason, then your contract can be cut short. You don't need to do the 2 years. That's why I said there are exceptions. So you should understand that in Germany, you need to sign either a 1 year contract or 2 years contract. Always take note of this. If it's more than this, you should ask questions. Don't say, okay, it's just 3 years, let me sign. No. And always read the clauses of every contract you're signing. And if you don't understand German, you can also translate. You can ask whoever is giving you the contract, please, can I go through the contract before I put my signature? Nobody is going to force you to sign. If anyone forces you to sign the contract here in Germany, then there's a problem and you should seek the necessary authorities if that happens. The next thing I'll be talking about is automatic renewals. So for such things like maybe your gym contract, because it's tied to your account, they usually will take the amount from your bank, and then subsequently every month you pay for your gym contract or your phone contract. So they just take from your bank. So if your contract expires, like if the 1 year expire or your 2 years contract expires for such cases, and you don't cancel, automatically it will still keep deducting from your account, except you cancel it, because every contract, or maybe phone contract or electric contract, is automatic renewal. So if you don't cancel the contract, automatically it renews. Know that when it comes to automatic renewal, it's also being cancelled. That is contract you sign online, because in time past you could, get contracts sold to you over the phone. So it could be your gas contract, or it could be your phone contract. It could be sold over the phone. So now the new law is that on any contract sold online has to have a button where you can cancel without automatic renewal. And then gas companies can't sell you contract over the phone anymore. So you need to know this. Gas and electric companies cannot sell you contract over the phone anymore. So you need to know this. And if something like this happens, then you should notify the necessary authority, because this is now a law that when it comes to automatic renewals, like contract like your gas and electric contract can't be sold over the phone to you anymore. And also, if it's an online contract on the website, you need to check. There's always like a button to cancel if you don't want to continue, so it doesn't automatically renew. And if it doesn't have it, then be wary. You don't need to sign such contract. Always look out for all of these things I'm talking about, so you don't get stuck to contract here in Germany, because I've been a victim of getting stuck to contract not once but twice. And that's why I deemed it fit to make this video so you could get enlightened and not fall victim like I did to some of these contracts here in Germany. Now, the next thing I'll be talking about is the notice period. So you normally need to cancel your contract from 1 to 3 months before the end, because if you miss it, then you're stuck to that contract. That most companies these days give you contract and tell you, okay, you need to give 1 month notice before the end of your contract. If you don't give 1 month notice, then the contract will be automatically renewed. I'm talking of contract like maybe your phone contract, maybe your gym contract. Because recently about the phone contract, I got an email from my network provider telling me about my contract I signed with them. It's for 2 years. So, and they told me if I don't cancel after give the 1 month notice, then automatically it will be renewed. So before, like I said in the earlier part of this video, I said it's 3 months, from 1 to 3 months, but because of recent laws and changes, it's like you need to give 1 month notice before your contract expires. If you don't do that, then you get stuck to that contract and then it gets automatically renewed. Things like rental contract, it doesn't really affect, because usually it's still like things like rental contract, you often need to give, like if your contract is expiring, you often need to give like 3 month notice if you want to move out. Because if you don't give 3 month notice that you're moving out, then it is assumed that you're also going to stay, you're still going to keep staying in that apartment, and then your contract will be renewed. So it is deemed fit that maybe you don't want to move out of the apartment. But if you're living in an apartment, you give 3 month notice that, okay, I'm leaving this apartment on so days, but you have to give like 3 month notice. So you need to know these things. So many persons don't know it, and then they're like, oh, I really didn't know. You have to read. There is information everywhere on the internet. If you don't read, you never know. So the next thing I'll be talking about is how to cancel your contract. So usually you do this in writing, or you writing a letter to the company, or you send an email. I mean, we are in a modern age and time, so emails do work, yes, but you need to understand that there are some companies that when you send email of cancellations to, it takes a lot of time before they respond. So if you already know that in Germany, most companies you send like letters to via post, they'll even respond to you via post like quicker than when you send an email. But to be on the safe side, send a letter via post or via email. You can do both. It's not, no one says you can't do the both of them. You can do both. You can send via email or via post. So you have something to show that, yes, you actually gave a cancellation of your contract before time. So the next thing I'll be talking about is number 5, which is the payment method. So most companies use direct debit. So what do I mean by this? Your bank details are given by yourself with your signature, and then you give your bank authorization to this company, the contract you're signing, that they can deduct money on a monthly basis, and your bank will authorize it. If you don't do that, then there's no how they can get like their money for the services they're providing you. So the next thing I'll be talking about is phone contract. So maybe your O2 contract or your Vodafone, or like any of the network providers you're using or you want to use, they also sell contracts over the phone. So you need to be really careful about this one, because as simple as it sounds, like saying yes to everything this person is saying on the phone can be legally binding. Now, especially for those people who don't understand German like very well. If you just keep saying yeah for everything they're telling you, you could be giving away, like you could be signing something you don't even understand. So it's advisable that when such things are like provided over the phone, you say, okay, no, I can go to the nearest office, so you can read the contract before you sign. Because if you do it over the phone, one thing you should know, that the person selling that contract to you has a device, and he will tell you that the conversation is recorded, and everything that is being recorded is in German. So it is assumed that whatever you say might be different from what the person is telling you. So if the person asks you, okay, do you want this contract to be for like 2 years, and you are understanding maybe you want the contract to be for 1 year, and then you say yes, on whatever is being recorded, it is assumed that you said yes to the 2 years contract. So you need to be really careful about signing contract over the phone, like when contracts are being sold to you over the phone, especially stuff like your phone contract, like I said. So then now the next thing we'll be talking about is consumer protection. Now, for every contract that you sign online or doorstep sales, maybe your phone provider or gas or something, like they come to your doorstep to sell the contract to you, you usually have 14 days to cancel that contract. So any contract that is being sold to you outside the office, you have 14 days to cancel such contract. This is as regards of consumer protection, covering the customer in this case. So you have 14 days to cancel that contract. Take notes so you don't say, okay, you didn't know, and after 14 days, because once the 14 days goes by and you don't cancel that contract, then you're stuck to the contract. The next thing we'll be talking about is employment contract. Yes, draw your ears closer. I want you to listen to this one, because whether you're an expat or you are an international student who came to Germany and you're studying and working at the same time, you should know this one. Now, it is clearly, your employment contract should clearly state your salary, your working hours, and your vacation days. Also, probation periods are normal. So don't say, but why are they giving me probation while I'm working? If you get a job in Germany, normally you have 6 months or 3 month probation, as the case may be, depending on the company. So if your contract doesn't carry your salary, if it doesn't carry your vacation days, the number of vacation days you should have, or if it doesn't carry your working hours, run. Or call the necessary authorities, or you can tell them, I need to study this contract, and then you study it well and see if there's a way you could report to the necessary authority. Don't be fast to say, okay, thank you so much, and then you go directly to your signature and then the date and sign. Once you sign that thing, anything you get from that company offering you an employer contract, you take it like that. Because even if you discover later on in future and you want to go to court, or you want to, go the legal way, your signature is already there. And in Germany, once you sign anything on the contract, it shows that you are aware of the clauses of that contract, and everything that has been written on that contract, you are aware about it. So there's nothing that can be done. You have to stick to that contract till the end of the contract. So for your employer contract, like I said, make sure your working hours is stated. If you are doing full-time, that's 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week as a student. Make sure your vacation period is stated. In some cases, you might have 25 days vacation or 30 days vacation. It depends on the company. And then also the last thing is your probation is also stated there. So make sure these things are stated, and your salary. Make sure your salary is stated in that contract. Once all of these things I've mentioned are stated, then you can put your signature and your date. And if you have any questions, you can always ask your employer. Don't be scared. Okay, don't just rush and sign and say, okay, I was scared, that's why I did not ask. Ask the person and they'll always respond to your questions. Now, this is the time where you get to smash the subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are on our way to 6K subscribers. And if you are yet to share this video, do well to share this video, so that as you are gaining from this video, someone else somewhere can also gain from this video. And also give this video a thumbs up by smashing the like button down there. That way the algorithm pushes this video and so many persons can learn and not make mistakes when signing contracts here in Germany. If you've done that, then let's get back into the video. So the number 9 thing is rental contract. One thing you should know is that in Germany, tenants are well protected. So no landlord or landlady can just end your lease easily. You need to know that. So if you are living in an apartment anywhere in Germany and your landlady or your landlord just tells you, okay, you need to leave. No, there's a contract already and tenants are well protected. That one I can assure you, because I've read a lot of things about tenancy agreement and tenancy protection in Germany, and I know for a fact that the law protects tenants. So your landlord or your landlady cannot just wake up one morning and say, okay, because I don't like your face anymore, and just tell you leave my house. No, it doesn't work like that. So if your landlady has done that to you or your landlord, it's because you don't know the law. So it's better you read about all of these things. It's all over the internet about tenancy protection. The last but not the least is enforcement. So when it comes to this, German courts take it really seriously. So if you break any of the terms of your contract, you're likely to face huge fines and in some cases prison terms. So you want to read your contract clauses so you don't break any contract clause and you still be in right terms of your contract. It's very serious. I'm talking of huge fines like 30,000, 40,000 euros. So if you have the money, fine and good, but you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to break laws or you don't want to break terms of contract, because when you do that, then you have the German courts to face and it's not something you wish for. So always read your contract, especially if you don't understand German. You will always be given time to study your contract. No one will tell you, no, you need to sign it like ASAP. So read your contract. If you understand German, you can read it there. Read the clauses of your contract before you put your signature, because as simple as putting your signature on a paper is as easy as breaking a contract term and getting fined. So you don't want to risk doing that. Study your contract. If you're new in Germany, understand that reading every piece of paper is important, so long as it's a contract. No matter how little it is, read it before you sign. Don't just rush and sign. But just in case you run into any contract issues, then you can search for Verbraucherzentrale in your city. So that is the consumer protection in your city. It's in every city. You can just Google Verbraucherzentrale Berlin or Hamburg or Hessen or Darmstadt, like wherever you are in Germany, they're always there. And trust me, they can be really, really be of help to you if you're having contract issues. They will tell you what to do and how to go about it, because they are all about protecting you. That's the reason they are there. So if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, do it to hit the subscribe button down below. Also give this video a thumbs up by liking this video. Share this video so it gets to a wider audience. Just like you're watching now, someone else should be able to watch and also get knowledge about contract signing in Germany and things you should look out for when signing or before signing a contract. If you're here to follow me on Instagram, I really don't know why I do it. To follow me at SammySticks, and if you have questions, you can leave it in the comment section. If, for example, you've been trapped in any contract, leave your experience in the comment section. I would like to know about it. Like I said in the earlier part of this video, I was also like a victim of this contract thing in Germany. So leave your thoughts or your comments in the comment section. Until the next time, I love you guys. Stay focused, stay motivated. Adios.